after you've encountered Cobalion inside of the Mistralton Cave, you can either catch it or knock it out, it doesn't matter. But only after you've seen it there. You can return to Pinwheel Forest and you can find yourself a second legendary Pokemon. Yeah, as soon as getting your 6th badge and getting Surf. It's great! This one's a grass fighting type, and you're about to see it in just a little bit. But you need to go through that break in the fence there. You can actually go here earlier on in the game. Darn it, stupid Staravia. Or not Staravia, what am I talking about? I mean, whatever the middle bird thing is. Now, it's actually further up, but there's somewhere else we can go. And did I get that solar beam? Yeah, I did. So in that corner there, if you didn't go here earlier, you'll find a TM for solar beam there. But like I said, I visited here a little bit earlier. So now that we have Surf, we can actually surf underneath this bridge. There's nothing too amazing to be found over here, but if you use some Bug-type Pokemon on your team, you will find the Silver Powder, which is basically the Silk Scarf for Bug-type attacks. It raises the power of your Bug-type attacks by 20%. Not too shabby. I know Mantiblade could use it if he wanted, although I think he has the Miracle Seed or something on it. I'd rather him do that. Okay, so anyway, now that that little detour is out of the way, that's all we can do with Surf here. Wasn't it so worth it? Yeah, I know, right? Up here, through this log, earlier in the game, there were little boulders blocking this path, but now, the way to the Rumination Field, as it's called, I don't get that name either, the way to the Rumination Field is now open, and you can find the second of the legendary trio. Virizion, just sitting there, just chilling, just in its field, like, hey, sup, I don't have boulders here anymore. What's a human like you doing in a place like this? So save your game before fighting it. Again, I can't stress this enough. If you knock it out by accident, you're going to have to wait until after you've beaten the game before you'll have a chance to catch it again. It won't respawn until then. It's a level 42, so it might even just wipe your team. It's pretty strong. And if you're not prepared for it, it can do a number on you. Try to make sure you have plenty of Pokeballs that are good against it. Things like Dusk Balls, Quick Balls, or if you don't have any of those, use an Ultra Ball. Super effective attacks are the way to go against it. It has a lot of resilience. This thing is pretty darn beefy. So you shouldn't have to worry about even super effective hits hitting it, because it should be able to take him like a champ. Oh, that's not good. It's poison. Ugh. No! I didn't really want to poison it, darn it. Now it's going to get knocked out. It does increase the chance of its, well, it does increase the chance of it being caught, but, oh, hopefully, ooh, not good. Oh well. Tough luck. That's a bummer. So, what happens, you're wondering? Well, this is a good reason to save the game, quite obviously. Let me show you why. Now, what has happened? It's gone. It ran away deep into the forest. And I'm going to cry. But I saved my game, so I don't have to worry about it. All I'm going to do is just turn off the power really quick, go back to my DSi menu, fire the game back up, and then I'll have another chance to catch it. This is why it's so important to save the game, because you never know when a critical hit will accidentally knock out that legendary. You can have it all planned out, but, you know, there's that luck element, and if that strikes you, you know, tough. So please, please just save your game before fighting it. That way, you don't have to feel embarrassed. I don't feel that embarrassed. It's just luck. It got poisoned. If it didn't get poisoned, it would have been in great shape for me to catch it. Now, one thing to note is, and you saw it using it earlier, it has Giga Drain. This does make it very annoying to try and catch, simply because it will be healing its hit points gradually. If you don't have something that's quite resistant to it, it will heal for a lot of damage. And that just means you're going to have to weaken it again. So you have to be rather swift at catching it, otherwise it's just going to Giga Drain its hit points back. Obviously not good. If it uses Helping Hand, it's a blessing, because it's just a free turn. Obviously you're not in a double battle. Okay, Virizion, Virizion, can you hear me now? Good! Let's see if I can catch you in an Ultra Ball. I forgot if this place is inside of... if it's counted as being in the dark. I think it is, but I was playing this during the light. During, like, daytime or something, so I wasn't entirely sure. That's why I threw an Ultra Ball instead of a Dusk Ball. I'm just trying to compare. I do think it's considered to be dark, though. But don't quote me on that. Just try them out. And again, another strategy you can do is the same strategy I've heard recommended for Cobalion. All you need to do is just keep tossing quick balls and resetting if you don't catch it on the first turn. You'll catch it eventually, and you'll only use one quick ball in the process. I don't like that approach, but since Giga Drain can get quite annoying, it's probably better against Virizion than it is against Cobalion. Now poor Manta Blade, not faring too well. Virizion's attacks have been whittling away at his hit points for a while now. But since Manta Blade is highly resistant to all of Virizion's attacks still, I'm just going to use a Moo Moo Milk to keep him in the game rather than send out another Pokemon. I think it's just much smarter that way. And I'll just keep pelting Dusk Balls at it. It'll catch it eventually. Now some people can get pretty lucky. They'll catch it in 1 or 2 or whatever. I know in my first playthrough of Black I caught, like, I think I caught Cobalion in 2 Ultra Balls or 2 Dusk Balls or something. It was ridiculous. But I still recommend bringing in about 30 between the two, simply because it's solely based off of an internal, randomly generated number, and if it doesn't like you, then it's going to take forever. If it does like you, hey, cool, you'll catch it right away. There's really no skill to it. It's not like the way you throw the Pokeball makes a difference. It's just you weaken it, throw a ball, and you'll either catch it or you won't. All based on luck. Obviously, if you're throwing Pokeballs or Ultra Balls or whatever kind of Pokeballs at it, when it's at full hit points, well, okay, that does prove there is some level of skill. You need to weaken it, come on. Unless you're using Quick Balls. But as a general rule, it's just down to luck. Unfortunately, it does not seem to be on my side today, so it's taking a little bit to catch this darn thing. They're a lot more difficult to catch than your cousin over there, Cobalion, eh? Darn musketeers. Ugh, look at them. They've got their boots and everything. Well, I know I'll catch this thing eventually. I'm still up in the air as to which is more effective, Ultra Balls or Dusk Balls. I'm just too lazy to look up if it's effective or not. I think Dusk Balls are still more effective at this point. Solution is just play at night. You know, then you don't have anything to worry about. I hate it when I'm, like, not entirely sure. It's, like, kind of sunset. It's like, do the Dusk Balls work or not? And I'm probably going to be told, like, 50 times, oh, Marriland, Dusk Balls work against it. You noobs should know this. Or, oh, I caught it in 1 Pokeball. I'm so good at this game. Yeah, good for you, buddy. Good for you. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter at all. I'm here to show you how to catch it. And unfortunately, I'm not doing a very good job, to be honest. I guess this is showing that it can be rather tricky to catch. That is why I do recommend picking up lots of different, well, lots of Dusk Balls, lots of Ultra Balls. Whichever one ends up working against it, I don't know. They're being annoying to catch. Darn thing. Let's see. Come on. Stay in that Ultra Ball. Good, Virizion. There we go. Now I caught it. Okay, finally. That only took way too long. Some people may even have a more difficult time than that. Mine was right on the edge of, kind of complicated. But I caught it, and that's really what's most important here. So I'm going to make my way out of that rumination field, and I'm going to use Fly to get back to a town. Now I'm going to an interesting town because it's actually going to be the start of our next optional adventure. Now that we can surf, I'm in a Cumula town. Yeah, right north of Nuvema town. And you'll see why in a little bit, but right now I just want to show you the 3 new Pokemon I caught, just because they're kind of neat. There's my Axew. Right there. It's a great Dragon-type Pokemon. It's adamant, no less. Hey, that's pretty cool. That would have made a great addition to my team had I not have already used Axew in my first playthrough. And then here's my Cobalion. Alright, level 42. Pretty decent stats. Let's take a look at him. Hey, not too bad. These Pokemon have quite a bit of defense and stuff. And Cobalion is no exception to that. Virizion tends to favor special defense even more. Take a look at this thing. Look at that, 117, and it's really zippy too. They make great additions to your team. Plus, whenever they're hit by a Dark-type attack, it'll raise their attack power. Nice! Well, we'll go embark on another optional area that we can find with Surf on the next episode of Marriland's Pokemon White Adventure.